Hi, it's Gab, and guess what? I just saw a movie with no special effects. Can you believe it? In the summer? Well, unless you consider good acting and good writing special effects. After Twilight and Last Airbender and that whole crap fest, I've finally seen a nice small dramedy that I'd have to recommend to you to cleanse the palate this summer. It's The Kids Are All Right, starring Annette Bening and Julianne Moore as a gay couple, a long-standing couple, married, stable, normal domestic relationship of 20-odd years, and they got a sperm donor to provide them with children. Each of the moms gave birth with the same sperm donor, anonymous sperm donor, to children who are now in their teens. An elder daughter who's about to go away to college, and she's played by Mia Wachowski. I don't know if I'm saying that right, from Alice in Wonderland recently, and the slightly younger teenage son played by Josh Hutcherson, who was in Cirque du Freak and a couple other things, and they have a pretty well-functioning domestic life, but the teens are going through that teen sort of thing, and for whatever reason, motivation, they want to meet their sperm donor, and so they seek him out, and he is played by Mark Ruffalo, who is pretty open to meeting them, and soon enough, it's a odd fivesome that these characters make and trying to sort of figure each other out. So it's dramatic, it's also quite funny, it's very lifelike, as as life is, funny and dramatic, and really well written, well acted. It's written and directed by the same woman who did Laurel Canyon, which is from a few years back, and a favorite of mine if you're familiar with that movie. And it just has a really realistic pace to it. The dialogue, the characters, I think are things that we can all see in ourselves and people we know and our own family situations. And yet not predictable. The story sort of takes little twists and turns, and even the character arcs, which you wouldn't necessarily expect. And I think that just enhances the realism of it, because again, that's like our everyday lives. We don't know what we're going to do or what's going to happen to us at any given time. So it's really refreshing in that sense, that it is not your typical, if there is such a thing, sort of family dysfunctional drama. There's a main plot point, which I won't spoil, that I'm not entirely happy with. I think I maybe would have liked to have seen the story take a different route, but the second half of the story basically totally hinges on this. So it's a criticism of the story in a way, although I'm okay with it as well. But I'm not sure. I think the story maybe could have been more satisfying and interesting if it had done something different. But it was interesting what happens, and I was really quite touched towards the end. A lot of humor, and just really fulfilled by this, what's going to be a small film. Obviously it's not going to be a blockbuster, but I would recommend it if you like these sorts of films and these actors. I mean, you can't do better. I love Julianne Moore, and she and Annette Bening are great. They create a real couple that you're really rooting for, idealized in some ways, but then just as soon as you think if they're being overly idealized, some nugget comes in there that makes you realize they're just a regular couple. And it may sound condescending to be calling a lesbian couple, ooh, this, like they're regular, normal people. But, in mass media, the way that gay couples are portrayed aren't always, straight down the middle. So it is a bit refreshing in that sense, that you're not always thinking, oh, this is a gay couple. It's just, this is a couple, a loving, struggling couple, parents, very great portrayal of parents. As a parent, I have to say, I related to a lot of what they were going to. Will younger people relate? I think that maybe teens will relate to the teen characters, and I think that there's something to be found on many levels here for all different kinds of people. So do I recommend it? Yes. Check it out. You might need to wait till you rent it if you're too busy with the action sci-fi blockbusters, but seek this one out. Don't forget about it, and I think you might be hearing about it come Oscar time, which seems far away, but it isn't really. The summer goes fast. Years fly by, as this movie can attest. Anyway, it's Gab. As usual, thanks for watching.